Hey there, Pythonistas. I kind of thought my last video, the one I just completed, was the 3 of 3, but I think we need a 4 of 4. I found some things I don't like and I want to fix. So this is rounding out some loose ends. Also, here's my Coding with Kids name badge. Today was Selwood, and I had a good time as usual. And also, let me show you my. I can't take this off without taking my headphones off. I don't want to do that. This is 2 Dickinson Street shirt. There's Coding with Kids again. That's kind of like an eating club. If you know anything about Princeton University, which I don't expect you to know, they don't have sororities or fraternities. They have these things called eating clubs, but not everyone wants to be waited on at dinner. Like, there's sit-down dinner affairs a lot. Actually, in my 4 years there, I wasn't invited to very many eating clubs, so that tells you my social network might have been kind of weak. Um, I went to 2 Dickinson Street because there we cooked each other's foods. I mean, we rotated kitchen duty and so on. And to me, growing up Quaker and the kind of way we do potluck, anyway, it just fit my ethnicity. And so I joined in my sophomore year that 2 Dickinson Street. But this is not what I'm here to talk about. I just wanted to okay, so Camtasia's running, and I want to show you what mistake I made. So this is, let's see, this is the old version of the sigma expression from my most recent video. What we're trying to do is show how we can always get the number 2 over and over and over, no matter how, no matter which row we pick in a set of expressions where there's 2 terms and there's coefficients going on, and then there's powers of phi. And they all have to gear together, synchronize a certain way. And if you do it right, then you're always going to get the number 2. And making a sigma expression out of this is a little bit wonky because you don't really need to. Why do you want to add all of these to each other, right? So I'm showing how you're going 2, 4, 6, 8. As you run these expressions, start anywhere, start plowing through them one after another. Everything the odometer flips, you're at the next row, the next expression that equals 2, and so on. Why add those up? But okay, if you're going to add them up, that's how many 2's you're going to have gone through. In other words, you're going to have gone through n minus I plus 1 2's. Now, I can be starting in the negatives, is what I show in this version. In other words, we can go back. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Fibonacci number 0, I'm just going to say is 0. Fibonacci number 1 is 1. Fibonacci number 2 is 1. Fibonacci 3 is 2. Fibonacci 4 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So you see I have this sequence, and I'm going forward starting from 0, pegged at 0. Now that's probably how most people would do it. But then I can go Fibonacci negative 1, Fibonacci negative 2, and go that way. So I'm going to be showing pictures of OEIS Fibonacci numbers around now. So I'm trying to capture all that in this sigma expression. I'm trying to say, okay, if you choose a Fibonacci coefficient, and we can go 3 back from there. So back up 3 in the sequence and take that number as your other coefficient. And then multiply it by powers of phi. One of them is going to be 3 phi powers in front of the other. So it's going to be 3 powers higher. So we're looking at coefficients that are 3 apart and powers that are 3 apart of phi, and mixing all that together, and we're always coming up with 2, 2, 2, 2. And every time I add another term, I get another 2, and that's what I'm kind of describing here. But I think it's easier to understand just in terms of separate expressions, like each row, when I talk about a row and how we just change the gears. then we always get 2. That's easy to understand. And I think this meat and potatoes, there it is just one time. This is really all we're trying to say here over and over, that you can get 2 this way and roll through the eyes as you do that. And I can go negative. Now that's what I'm showing here when I want to go negative. I looked up, what does Fibonacci numbers look like on the other side of 0, and I got 2 little horse race horses going, or 2 little inchworms or snails, whatever, 2 things that iterate along, iterators, getting successive Fibonacci numbers, but I start them with an offset of 3, corresponding to my exponential offset of 3. But the offset of 3 is 3 Fibonacci terms apart, and those become my 2 coefficients, multiplied by the 2 phi values, and boom, we get a 2 every time. So that's what I show in this last set of equations here, using extended precision once again, that I am going to get 2 for all of these. It took me a while to synchronize it properly, and you've got this on GitHub now, so if you want to go check out this particular notebook, you'll see a link here in the program notes. Okay, I think that clears it up now. I was going to just delete the last video and just pretend I didn't make a lot of mistakes, but I think I'd rather show the evolution and how I ended up with this sigma notation, and you may think of something cleverer and better than that. But we'll leave it at that. Thank you, David Koski, for the whole identity in the first place. I'm just working on various skills around, how do you do this kind of basic stuff with these tools, right? So this is kind of a how-to video in my book. All right, looking forward. We'll talk to you some more.